This evening, we take a critical look at the consumption of baked clay by thousands of pregnant women in Ghana. Some women say it helps them cope with diarrhea, stomach discomfort, nausea, and other pregnancy-related conditions. Many health practitioners, however, insist that the baked clay is one reason why so many Ghanaian women are anemic. MHC spoke to women who say they are addicted and need help. We also visit Anfuega in the Volta region, where the freshly mined clay is molded into lumps, oven-baked, and distributed to markets across Ghana. In Adenta, a peripheral suburb of Accra, the morning has started quite late for Auntie Grace. She sells corn dough and uses the local mill to prepare her much-demanded produce for the market. As usual, she is late because her time is taken up by an aspect of her daily routine, which she keeps secret, even from her children and closest family. Auntie Grace is addicted to baked clay. We had a chance to talk to her, and she was very frank, but before that, our roving team visited the town, which supplies most of Ghana and beyond with the pellets of baked clay that is causing all the stir.
We are in Anfuega, in the Volta region of Ghana. Anfuega is not the biggest town in comparison to Accra, Kumasi, or Tamale. Anfuega is known as the biggest manufacturer of a highly controversial product, baked clay, which is eaten by millions of women in Ghana and beyond its borders.
The production of what is causing much anxiety for many pregnant women and a source of worry for health professionals is hidden in the hills above the town. We trekked through the forest green and narrow meandering paths to reach there. These are makeshift pits dotted all around here, unregulated, small-scale mining with rudimentary technology.
This work we start 1972. We start digging the clay here since from 1972.
The process of bringing up the clay can be hazardous and is a tough call for these miners who earn 20 cedis or $10 a day.
One thing is that the hole itself, if the rain is falling heavy, it will break the hole. It will collapse the hose, then the job stop, unless we go and dig another place, another hole, and grab another one. Then we start doing our business again. If the rainy season, if the rain fall heavily, then the hole break.
The descent is steep and there is no supply of oxygen.
We can take about say 3 or 4 months before reach the good one.
A pit is normally abandoned when the miner can no longer breathe. The clay is in colored layers. White sells more, so the chiseling and hammering is selective. A good miner knows how to get to the white clay.
You see, the correct one is white. Then we pack it. After that, we remove a new sack. We have white, we have yellow, we have red, and we have zebra.
Once the rocks are bagged, they are brought to the surface, which cannot be an easy task. These rocks are rebagged and carried down the hill. Back at the production base, a mill grinds the rocks into fine powder, which is molded into clay again and shaped into small pellets ready to be smoked or baked. Also in the Valley of the Hills is the Anfuega Catholic Hospital. Sister Georgina is the matron in charge. We met some women attending antenatals.
When she started, her HB was very low, 7. The normal one is supposed to be 11 to 13 grams per deciliter, but her own is 7. So we started her with hematinics. She has been taking it, but still up to now, when we checked today, it was still 7.3. She is now 36 weeks and she is going to deliver. And if the HB is low like that, during delivery she can lose blood. And so today we were asking her and she was telling us that they've been taking white clay.
People used to come from Accra, Kumasi, they will come and buy it. They will go and sell it. They will go and sell it. They want money. That's right.
The resident doctor was also keen to share his worries about the baked clay.
Just behind the hospital, the mountain there, that is why they actually dig a lot of the white clay. Now these women eat it a lot, and the effect, especially on pregnant women and children, you have anemia. The anemia could be caused directly from malabsorption, or you could have worm infestation, because this is clay and it will contain just anything. Yes, both of them will contribute to anemia. And so for the pregnant women, our fear is that it causes anemia in pregnancy. We see quite a lot of anemia, about 30-40%. Hookworm infestation, because it's coming from the soil, and when you look at the transmission of worms, it's basically it's fecal-oral. So even though they do bake the clay, I mean, we are not sure the extent, because some of them just air dry it. Yes, so it is a potential source for worm infestation. If you have a mother who is anemic, who has anemia, baby is not going to get enough oxygen, so it affects the babies. It causes growth restriction in the uterus, and in some cases you may even have fetal death.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to the Maternal Health Channel. On my right, I have Grace Tete. Welcome.
Thank you.
And on my other side, I have Abna Okai, who will be helping me with the tree translation. Abna, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Now, I want to understand this whole craving. We know it happens when women are pregnant, but let's find out from Grace yourself. When did you start this?
Pacho, dabe na osha se udi Ayilo.
That's it. But you mean my firstborn, and I started to midi. Ti midi ya kope me say me kwako. Ti me wo ye no na me ba no me wo no me fenti ye. Ti mani su titi na nesi nka nyam say midi ayiro. Ti akola no amane problem. Kola ntimi nyina ayefin adida wo ni tiriase. Me ankasa me hu ye me hu se ni hu na mu atwenchin bebre. Nti omame woni se mama ndibio but me ntimi njai me ba fie nyina na medi me koto ana me di esie me mama ate nti me mpeso behu ba mama odwala kwa kwa misa yiro egusidi because akora no koto letter ontimi ti osi oye baby nti eni kwanse ni toilet timi ye den sanso because of we ayiro na me di nti no koto letter na emu ye den ti mama mo me woni ba me ntimi enjai me di ya kopi me se me ba no enya wanye na megusu na medi nti one day me kotobi se me bedi edoso ye nti simani ma mewe media na me ho se ade no aye menum ma bi me ntimi ti me zene meyi na ma hwade kodi a ewo wa me mene a enko no ti me ti ye no na me ho se sonso de mu fita ti mu ye pe na me ye mo hye ti ho na me gya ne ewo me nsem na me di gu ho na mi yi ne mi wa metutwene ye nti fi ho no ne makoto olonga na siden na mi kokukuru ni nyina na metutwene ye na me hofu manim ti fi ho ni de mentimi endi bi.
She started when she was pregnant with her first child. And even after giving birth, she couldn't stop. She continued eating Ayilo, which affected the manner in which the child frees his bowels.
Okay.
So her mother advised her to stop eating the Ayilo if she's still eating the Ayilo because it's affecting the child.
And it looks like she continued way after or up until the child was about 1.
1 year.
And when she had that bad experience where she said she saw a worm in one of the pieces. Okay. But I'm interested again, why did you start?
Pacho Ayilo no adentina osha se udi Ayilo.
Obi anche ba mi am hona bibisa adom ko na mekotoye.
Nobody really taught her how to eat Ayilo. She just had a craving for Ayilo and she went to buy.
We actually have Ayilo in the studio, as you can see, and I have one now in my hands. Grace, how much of this can you eat in a day?
Pacho Ayilo no dodo se na utimidi e wodaba.
Ni esi we da ko metimi di be hafa na metimi di be ni nyina.
She can consume almost everything in as we have it here, or even half of it in a day.
That's a lot.
A dozen.
By metimi di.
But she can eat all.
Okay. So Grace, is it sweet? Is it nice? What does it do for you when you chew and swallow it?
Pacho Ayilo na udi no. Eya ude. Udi a unya den wo.
Enya de but eya na me pese mi di. Me ho a do me kon.
It's not nice for her when she eats it. It's just a craving she has for the Ayilo.
Eya na mu ye hwam.
It has a nice smell.
Grace, are you aware of anything bad associated with eating Ayilo, especially when you are pregnant?
Pacho Ayilo na udi no. Se ufa yefo a unim se enyema abofra na ohye oye no ana se unyema.
Nurse for can say nye. Ba me e do me konti. Nye ni omo kan say nye na me ti. Se de me medi a se de do me kon me free. Nti omo kan say nye kura.
The nurses have told her it's not good to eat Ayilo when you are pregnant, but it's the craving she has for the Ayilo which makes her eat the Ayilo.
Aren't you scared or worried that it will affect your child?
Chabofra no show yem no unsure man say Ayilo na udi no ebeha na because what candidate say abofra na no show yem no na ha no.
enu de man me hu se be ha na me de dom ko na me di ntin se be ha no enu de man dwe ho ankosa.
She wasn't really thinking about the effect it will have on the child. It's just because of the craving. She just went ahead by the dictates of the craving.
Okay. So we're seeing how driven this compulsion is. Grace, let me ask you again. So you've been eating this for some time. You have 2 children.
But she say ma 2. But adi ase we dia kwani mu kakra.
Me ndi ne nepem. Ebi wo me hyedam me kwa na me di. Me wa bonten a wo me ho. Ti me hwa na me ya to manim. Obi bi zam se de na me di kura me mfi.
She always makes sure there's nobody around when she's eating the ayilo. And even if there's somebody around and asks her what she's eating, she will not let the person know what it's eating.
Have you also noticed that there's any problem health-wise or with your body or your system that you may think is due to the ayilo that you've been eating?
Nampacho sisi yo wankasa obedie mu no bibi wo mu a entoye a utimi susu say bia ayilo na udie no e na ma sa problem no sa wedie na enkoye na e de abro sana.
Okay, sisi anu me hu say first no me starti eye bra no ebi wo 5 days 6 days but sisi anu 3 days ti me hu say ma adwen aka jam say the way atimi ye me ba no ti me hu say bia nu na e ma manya sa problem me de ma adwen susu ni sa.
Well, now her menstrual cycle is not regular. Before it was 5 to 6 days, but now it's just 3 days. So she's thinking it's because of her eating ayilo, which has caused that.
Okay. I'm looking at this in front of me and I'm wondering whether it doesn't block the system.
Patrona we jana nso utimi ekono boko ana say e de how abro.
O ti see the major idini de metimi kuni.
As for now, she's not having any problems with freeing her bowels.
Me didn't need na hame.
When she was eating the ayilo, she was affected by moving her bowels.
You tell us and you share with us that when you don't have it, you don't feel okay. Can you describe that feeling to us when you haven't taken the ayilo?
Pacho, ayilo no say unni ayilo ni bo nchen a say ohun ntene obi sa no. Pacho betimi a che mu kakra se na ya eyo.
Se me nya ya. I say ne wo pe bibia on sa kan on sa na e ha na titi. Na o pese esese unya. Nti eye me sa this me nya pe na my free.
She becomes restless when she doesn't have the ayilo. But as soon as she gets ayilo, she's okay. She feels better.
Have you been able to stop, and how were you able to cut back or eventually stop?
Pacho sisi a the ayilo na odi no, wait me jaya na wo ye ne sen e na otimi jaya ayilo ni di.
Me di na me hu aboa ni wo ho. Eno na mami sa aboa no misro no pa ona mfo nkura be ofa me mfa ho. Nti me hu ne pe na mama ja nti sisi ayiro we ese misro no.
The last time she ate ayilo, she saw a worm in the ayilo. So that is what has helped her be able to stop eating ayilo because she's afraid of the worm.
Okay. Most of us know that worms come or live in the ground. What do you think this is made of, the ayilo?
Pacho, we say sonson no, e bo kakra. But obi aso nim say sonson de asase no free. Enti we say ayilo no unim baby a efri ana.
Minim matise si tunu form there.
She's not exactly aware, but she knows it's from the ground. That's what she's heard.
Okay. When you are eating the ayilo, do you also eat regular, normal food? Are you able to eat? Does it affect your appetite?
Pacho, ayilo no se udia utimi edi eduane pa na.
Mitimi didi, me di eduane kakraka. Ba mi pe ayilo no sin se me didi.
She's able to eat normally, but she prefers more of the ayilo than regular food.
Okay. Grace, you told me you hide your habits. You hide when you are eating it. But do you know other women who do this?
Pacho, ukasana na wo say se udi ayilo na ukosie baby na wedi. Na sisi an unimobi a ono so aya na odi ayilo ni bia na.
Minim krofo bebre a omodi.
She knows a lot of people who eat ayilo.
So what do they tell you are their reasons? Why do they eat ayilo?
Timpacho maya unimo se omudi ayilo e den no mo ka kire say e den epia omo se omo kodi ayilo no.
Mi bisa omo se omo ha na edo omo kon. O se opese onu se ya odi. Nti madam for body ono so timi depend ways ono so timi di ne saa.
It's the same craving they have for the Ayilo. She has a friend who also eats Ayilo.
Okay. And are these friends also pregnant? Or are there some of them who are not pregnant?
The pachonko funa oni momu no omu so oma fefu ana say omu fefu omu di Ayilo.
Omu fefu omu di ne keke.
They are not pregnant, they just eat Ayilo.
Okay, omu so omu wo ho ana adom kon say omu di. Obi won so say odi a e bia ne bo mfunu no. Ne bufunu no odi a odi pena ejai. Ana say otuntusu nti ne tembia opese ebi woni hu na oda nanum a ontuntusu.
Some eat it because of the craving, others to stop the nausea they feel when they are pregnant. But some too, because they spit a lot, they eat the Ayilo to curb that.
Okay. Whilst you were pregnant, you were attending the antenatal clinic, were you not?
But your time now wafa efunu, mrena na wafa efunu, na oko antenatal, oko nurse.
Me patron.
And what were the nurses telling you with regard to this habit? Or were they not aware that you were eating Ayilo?
Timpacho in church bena nurses for ne de ma efa Ayilo no ho ana say no mu nim say wudi Ayilo ana.
O omo nim but say ye kwa no pa na yesua ade ansa na bia omo ahwe edura no pa mu ne ye besua ade e bia we nye mendi we nye no mabobo ne ma mesu opinfo de we na ye mo nti omo kan na Ayilo no maka nya say ndi wudi a e ma wo problem e bi obewu akwara na ayepo eda ne yem bi o ese akwara bi akwara no nya no na omo kan omo chire ni nyina wi ansa na omo abehwe.
The nurses weren't aware, but when they go for the antenatal lessons, they take them through what they should do during the pregnancy. And the Ayilo becomes an issue which is raised during the pregnancy. So they tell them they shouldn't eat Ayilo because the baby can even die out of eating Ayilo.
As a man, I'm curious. Grace, do you know any men who indulge in this habit? Men who eat Ayilo? Do you know any man who eats Ayilo?
Pacho unimbema bia odi Ayilo ana. She doesn't know of any.
Why do you think men don't seem to like Ayilo or seem to eat Ayilo?
And Pacho, why do you say they intina a man de Ayilo?
And near me to mention
She really can't explain why.
Grace, what would you be telling women and all those listening to you tonight?
Pacho, she said, then I'll pass on country a painful any almost all faithful. Say Ayilo no then a person can show more.
You person me can share me nuanum man say Ayilo no enye ene obedi ebe de but ochina na ewu achire no edoso nti so bi di bia person oti ase na onjai say de be ya emfa problem bi emre no anani onyem no ne ba na ono amo say man person me can share mo.
Eating Ayilo may be tasty, but it's not a good habit to cultivate. Because you can even lose the child. It can affect the unborn baby in so many ways. So she's advising them not to eat the Ayilo.
Okay. What we do know is that this practice is not only restricted to Ghana, and we'll be exploring it further on the next edition of the Maternal Health Channel. We hope we've educated you. We hope we've informed you, and mainly hope we've transformed you. Join us next week for more interesting insights on the clay-eating habits of pregnant women. Have a good night.